My beloved soul, listen carefully. God is rewriting your love story, your soulmate's heart is softening in secret, something is shifting that you cannot see with your natural eyes, yet your spirit has already felt it. The silence you have been living in was never empty. The distance you thought was rejection was never final. God has been working behind the curtain, rewriting pages you thought were already torn apart. And while you were wondering if your love story had ended, heaven was carefully revising every chapter. The heart you thought had grown cold is quietly melting. The soul you believed had forgotten you is remembering in the deepest place. What feels like delay is divine design. What feels like absence is sacred preparation. Type "I receive this" in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Click the bell. Send a super thanks as a prophetic act of faith. Do this not as a routine action, but as a spiritual alignment, as a declaration that you trust what God is doing even when you cannot see it. These are not ordinary gestures. They are seeds of agreement with the rewriting that has already begun. My beloved soul, you have cried tears that no one saw. You have questioned your worth in the quiet of your room. You have wondered why someone who once felt so sure suddenly became distant, guarded, or silent. But what you did not know is that God allowed the pause because the heart on the other side was not ready to love you correctly. It was not hardened beyond repair. It was wounded, confused, carrying fears it did not know how to confess. And instead of forcing a union that would have broken you both, God stepped in. Right now, as you listen, something sacred is happening in secret. Your soulmate's heart is being softened not by your effort, not by your chasing, not by your proving, but by divine conviction. They are replaying memories. They are feeling the absence more deeply than they admit. They are confronting the walls they built. The same heart that once resisted is now beginning to ache with understanding. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment. There is something powerful in what is being revealed. Heaven does not rush transformation. It cultivates it. Just as ice does not shatter into water instantly but slowly yields to warmth, so is your soulmate's heart yielding under the gentle fire of God's correction. They are realizing what they risked losing. They are feeling the weight of what they almost let go. And this realization is not shallow. It is penetrating. You may not see messages yet. You may not hear apologies yet. But in the unseen realm, pride is dissolving. Fear is losing its grip. The stubborn silence is being challenged by a longing they can no longer ignore. God is not just bringing them back. He is reshaping them so that when they return differently. With humility. With clarity. With intention. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. Because this is not just about romance. This is about restoration. This is about alignment. This is about two souls being refined separately so that when they reconnect, they do not repeat the same wounds. You thought the delay meant denial. But delay was protection. God was protecting your heart from a version of them that was not yet healed. My beloved soul, you must understand something deeply. The rewriting is not only happening in their heart. It is happening in yours. You are being strengthened. Your standards are rising. Your dependency is shifting from human validation to divine assurance. You are learning to love without begging. To wait without desperation. To trust without control. And this transformation within you is what makes the future safe. Your soulmate feels this shift. They sense that you are no longer chasing. They feel that you have grown quieter, stronger, more centered. and it unsettles them in a holy way. Because now they realize that if they do not rise, they will lose something rare. God is allowing them to feel the distance so they can understand your value. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The softening of their heart is not dramatic. It is subtle. It is late-night thoughts they cannot escape. It is your name appearing in their mind unexpectedly. It is a sudden tenderness when they recall your smile. It is regret that gently presses on their conscience. It is clarity that arrives when distractions fade. This is how God works. Not with noise, but with conviction. My beloved soul, you were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to be chosen freely. And God will not allow a forced union. He is rewriting your love story so that it reflects maturity, not chaos. So that it carries peace, not anxiety. So that it feels safe, not uncertain. The softening in secret is necessary because public change without private transformation never lasts. Even now, they are questioning their past decisions. They are comparing every connection to what they had with you. And nothing feels the same. Not because you were perfect, but because what you shared was ordained. They are recognizing the depth they once took for granted. They are feeling the absence like a quiet echo that follows them everywhere. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. Because this is not a temporary stirring. This is divine orchestration. God is not rewriting casually. He is editing carefully. Removing misunderstandings. Correcting immaturity. Healing insecurity. And when the story resumes, it will not resume where it broke. It will resume at a higher level. My beloved soul, let your heart rest. You do not need to send another message. You do not need to prove your worth. The softening is already underway. Heaven is doing what you could never do by force. Trust the silence. Trust the delay. Trust the process that feels invisible. Because what is happening in secret will soon manifest in reality. Right now, choose faith over fear. Choose patience over panic. Choose dignity over desperation. The rewriting is sacred. The transformation is real. And the heart that once seemed distant is being drawn back not by manipulation, but by awakening. Your love story is not ending. It is being refined. And what returns will not be the same. It will be softer. It will be clearer. It will be ready. My beloved soul, what you must understand now is that divine rewriting never happens in noise, it happens in stillness. While you were trying to interpret signs, heaven was restructuring foundations. While you were counting days of silence, God was counting moments of inner conviction inside the one you love. You saw distance, but God saw development. You felt abandoned, but heaven knew adjustment was necessary. Because if two hearts meet before they are softened, they collide. And God was not willing to let your destiny collide and shatter under immaturity. He chose to pause the story so that it could be purified. Right now, in ways you cannot measure, your soulmate is confronting parts of themselves they once avoided. They are recognizing how fear made them withdraw. They are seeing how pride built walls. They are acknowledging how past wounds distorted their perception of love. This awareness is not comfortable for them. It is stretching them. It is humbling them. And humility is the beginning of true softening. My beloved soul, do not rush this process in your heart. You may feel moments of impatience rising again, whispers that say, "What if nothing changes?" But those whispers are echoes of past pain, not prophecies of your future. The shift is already in motion. Even when they appear calm on the outside, internally something is moving. They are remembering your patience. They are replaying your kindness. They are recognizing the peace they felt around you. And the more they compare it to the chaos of other connections, the clearer it becomes. This realization is not instant fireworks. It is steady warmth. It is subtle longing. It is the kind of softening that lasts because it is rooted in truth, not emotion alone. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. Because what is unfolding is not only about reconciliation, it is about transformation that will protect your future. God is not interested in temporary reunions that collapse under pressure. He is building endurance. He is shaping communication. He is teaching accountability. Your soulmate is being led into a season where excuses no longer feel satisfying. Where distractions no longer feel fulfilling. Where surface connections feel empty. They are beginning to crave depth. They are beginning to miss safety. They are beginning to realize that what they had with you was not ordinary. And as this awareness grows, so does their tenderness. My beloved soul, you must guard your heart during this time. Not with bitterness, but with wisdom. The rewriting does not mean you return to old patterns. It means you rise into new standards. When they approach again, and they will, it must be with clarity, not confusion. With openness, not avoidance. With honesty, not silence. God is not just softening their heart toward you, He is strengthening your discernment so that you recognize real change. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. Because even now, they are having conversations with themselves they never had before. They are questioning why they pulled away. They are acknowledging the fear of vulnerability. They are seeing how love requires courage, not control. And this inner dialogue is reshaping them slowly but surely. My beloved soul, the secret softening is evidence that divine timing is at work. Sometimes God removes you from someone's reach so that your absence can speak louder than your presence. Your silence has become a mirror. In that mirror, they see what they lost. In that reflection, they see what they mishandled. And instead of blaming you, they are beginning to confront themselves. That confrontation is sacred. That awareness is holy. Because when a heart takes responsibility, it becomes ready for real love. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. Because this story is not circling back to repeat pain. It is progressing toward restoration built on maturity. My beloved soul, you have grown in ways you may not even recognize yet. You no longer feel the same desperation. You no longer chase clarity from someone who is silent. You have learned to sit with uncertainty without losing your value. And this growth within you is magnetic. It calls them upward. It silently challenges them to evolve. The connection you share is not fading. It is refining. Sometimes refinement feels like loss because it burns away illusion. But what remains after refinement is pure. And purity does not need force. It flows naturally. Your soulmate is beginning to feel drawn not by memory alone, but by recognition. Recognition that you are not easily replaced. Recognition that what you carried was rare. Recognition that the love you offered was steady, not temporary. My beloved soul, trust that when God rewrites, He does not erase destiny. He corrects direction. He adjusts timing. He heals character. The softening you cannot see is more powerful than visible gestures without depth. It is happening in their quiet hours. It is happening when they lay awake and feel the weight of your absence. It is happening when they see couples and wonder what could have been. It is happening when they realize that running did not bring peace. Stay attentive to your own peace during this time. Do not let anxiety steal the calm God has given you. The rewriting requires your cooperation through trust. And trust is not passive, it is powerful. It is the decision to believe that heaven's silence is not neglect. My beloved soul, there will be a moment when the internal softening becomes external action. Words will come. Honesty will surface. Apologies will feel genuine. But until that moment arrives, remain steady. Do not shrink your standards to speed up destiny. Do not question your worth because of temporary distance. The heart that once felt closed is being opened gently. Not by pressure, but by divine persuasion. And when God persuades, resistance weakens. This love story is not being rewritten to entertain you. It is being rewritten to elevate you. So that when union happens, it is rooted in awareness. So that when promises are spoken, they are backed by growth. My beloved soul, you are closer than you think. Not necessarily to a message, but to manifestation. The internal shift always precedes the external sign. What is happening in secret will not remain hidden forever. Softening leads to action. Conviction leads to courage. And courage leads to movement. Until then, remain grounded. Remain faithful. Remain aligned. Because God is not just restoring romance. He is restoring integrity within the connection. And what is built on integrity does not collapse easily. The rewriting is still unfolding, the softening is still deepening, and the love story that once seemed uncertain is being prepared to return stronger, clearer, and divinely secured. My beloved soul, as this sacred transformation continues, you must recognize that what feels slow is actually precise. God is not healing your soulmate's heart randomly. He is addressing specific fears, specific wounds, specific misconceptions that once stood between you. Every insecurity that made them hesitate is being exposed. Every false belief that told them love was unsafe is being challenged. And the reason this process feels hidden is because true conviction happens in privacy before it manifests publicly. They are wrestling with themselves. They are confronting memories they once tried to suppress. They are acknowledging moments where they chose pride over vulnerability. This internal awakening is not dramatic on the outside, but it is seismic within. My beloved soul, you may sense subtle energetic shifts. You may feel unexpected calm where anxiety once lived. You may notice that the heaviness is lifting from your spirit. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. When two souls are divinely connected, shifts in one heart echo into the other. As their resistance softens, your spirit feels relief. As their clarity increases, your confusion decreases. This is the invisible thread of destiny being gently tightened, not to restrict you, but to draw you back into divine synchronization. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. Because the next phase of this rewriting is deeper than emotion. It is about identity. Your soulmate is beginning to see themselves differently. They are realizing that running from love did not make them strong, it made them isolated. They are understanding that independence without intimacy feels empty. And as this awareness grows, so does their desire to correct what was mishandled. My beloved soul, you must not underestimate the power of realization. Realization is the doorway to repentance. Repentance is the doorway to change. And change is the doorway to restored connection. They are not just missing you emotionally. They are evaluating their behavior logically. They are seeing patterns they once defended. They are recognizing how fear shaped their reactions. This level of introspection is rare, and it is sacred. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. Because while they are softening, God is also restructuring circumstances around both of you. Conversations they have with others are confirming your value. Situations they experience are highlighting what was different about you. Disappointments in other areas are teaching them what consistency truly means. It is as if life itself is gently pointing them back toward what they almost lost. My beloved soul, the rewriting is meticulous. God is removing misunderstandings that once created distance. He is dissolving assumptions that caused conflict. He is untangling emotional knots that prevented openness. And as these inner barriers fall, your soulmate feels something unexpected, peace when they think of you. Not chaos. Not confusion. Peace. That peace is a sign that fear is losing control. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. Because peace is the foundation of lasting love. And when someone begins to associate your presence with peace rather than pressure, their heart naturally gravitates back. My beloved soul, this is why you were asked to step back. This is why silence was necessary. If you had continued to pursue, they would not have felt the absence deeply enough to reflect. Your restraint created space for revelation. Your quiet strength became a catalyst for their awakening. And now, as they soften, they are not responding to your effort. They are responding to truth. Truth that whispers your name when distractions fade. Truth that reminds them of how safe they felt with you. Truth that exposes how rare your connection truly was. This softening is layered. First comes awareness. Then comes regret. Then comes humility. Then comes courage. They are moving through these layers slowly but surely. And as humility deepens, defensiveness fades. As courage rises, silence weakens. My beloved soul, you are witnessing divine orchestration in motion. Even if you cannot see the details, you are standing in the middle of a miracle that is unfolding quietly. Guard your heart from doubt. Doubt will try to convince you that nothing is happening. But doubt does not have access to what heaven is doing behind closed doors. Stay anchored in faith. Because faith is not blind optimism. It is spiritual perception. It is the ability to trust what is forming in secret. My beloved soul, there will come a moment when your soulmate can no longer ignore the softening. When the weight of unspoken words becomes heavier than the fear of speaking them. When the desire to reconnect outweighs the pride that once held them back. And when that moment arrives, their approach will feel different. It will carry sincerity. It will carry vulnerability. It will carry acknowledgement. Not vague affection, but intentional clarity. Do not rush that moment in your imagination. Let it unfold naturally. Because when God restores, He restores in a way that leaves no confusion. The rewriting ensures that old patterns do not repeat. It ensures that communication replaces assumption. It ensures that emotional maturity replaces avoidance. My beloved soul, as you wait, continue to grow. Continue to refine your own heart. Release resentment. Release the need to control outcomes. Release timelines that create pressure. The more you align with peace, the more magnetic your presence becomes. Your soulmate will not just return to familiarity. They will return to a transformed dynamic. A dynamic where respect is mutual. Where honesty is consistent. Where love is expressed without fear. Stay attentive to subtle confirmations. Small signs may begin to appear. Unexpected thoughts. Sudden reminders. Gentle nudges in your spirit. These are not random. They are whispers that the rewriting is progressing. My beloved soul, you are not being asked to chase. You are being invited to trust. And trust is powerful because it creates space for divine completion. The heart that once seemed distant is learning the cost of distance. The soul that once resisted depth is craving it now. This is not manipulation. This is maturation. The secret softening is becoming steady transformation. And when transformation reaches fullness, action follows naturally. My beloved soul, remember that God does not begin a rewriting without intending to finish it. What He has started in your love story will not remain incomplete. The pages are turning. The narrative is shifting. The ending you feared is being replaced with a continuation that reflects growth. Remain calm. Remain faithful. Remain aligned. Because the heart that is softening in secret will soon beat with courage in the open. And when it does, you will recognize that every delay, every silence, every tear was part of a divine design that was always working in your favor. My beloved soul, as this sacred journey approaches its visible breakthrough, you must understand that the final movements of divine rewriting are always the most delicate. This is the stage where internal conviction becomes undeniable. Where hesitation begins to feel heavier than action. Where silence starts to suffocate more than vulnerability. Your soulmate is reaching that threshold. The softening that began as subtle awareness has matured into emotional responsibility. They can no longer pretend they are unaffected. They can no longer dismiss what they feel when your memory rises. The truth has settled into their spirit, and truth is persistent. It does not fade. It does not retreat. It waits patiently until it is acknowledged. You may notice an unusual stillness in your own heart now. Not the anxious stillness of fear, but the grounded calm of surrender. That calm is confirmation. It means you are no longer striving. You are no longer trying to force destiny to move faster than God intends. And because you have stepped into peace, the pathway for reunion becomes clearer. Divine restoration does not flow into chaos. It flows into readiness. And readiness has been forming in both of you simultaneously. My beloved soul, the heart that once resisted depth is now craving it. The mind that once overanalyzed is now seeking clarity. The pride that once guarded their emotions is weakening under the weight of realization. They are beginning to see that vulnerability is not weakness. It is courage. They are recognizing that love requires openness, not avoidance. And this recognition is preparing them to approach you differently. Not casually. Not vaguely. But intentionally. There will be a moment, and it will not feel forced. It will feel natural, almost inevitable. A message, a call, a conversation that carries a tone you have never heard from them before. Softer. Slower. More sincere. You will sense the shift immediately because your spirit will feel safe rather than uncertain. My beloved soul, when that moment comes, respond from your evolved self, not from old wounds. Speak with clarity. Listen with discernment. Allow honesty to flow both ways. This is not about revisiting the past to relive pain. It is about acknowledging it so it no longer controls the future. Stay steady in your peace even now. The rewriting is complete in the spiritual realm before it becomes visible in the physical. What is forming has already been approved by heaven. The secret softening has done its work. Pride has bowed. Fear has loosened its grip. Awareness has taken root. And from awareness grows action. My beloved soul, remember that this love story was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you. Every tear strengthened your discernment. Every silence deepened your faith. Every delay refined your standards. You are not the same person who once waited in confusion. You are wiser. You are calmer. You are anchored. And because you have grown, the love returning to you must meet you at that level. Trust that God does not rewrite halfway. He completes what he begins. The chapter that felt like an ending was actually an intermission for transformation. The distance that felt permanent was preparation for maturity. And the heart that seemed closed was being reshaped quietly by divine hands. Now release the last traces of fear. Release the timeline you once clung to. Release the need to predict exactly how it will unfold. The story is secure. The connection is purified. The return will not feel chaotic. It will feel aligned. And when you look back, you will realize that the silence was sacred, the waiting was purposeful, and the softening in secret was the miracle you could not see at first. My beloved soul, your love story is no longer fragile. It is fortified. What comes next will not be built on uncertainty but on understanding. Not on impulse but on intention. Not on fear but on faith. And as this divine rewriting reaches its visible expression, you will stand in awe of how gently, how precisely, and how faithfully God has led both of you back to a place of truth. Rest in that assurance. Walk in that peace. The heart that is softening in secret is preparing to love you openly, wisely, and wholeheartedly. And this time, it will be different. This time, it will be ready. Type Amen.